Shalom and welcome. This week's Torah portion is the second Torah portion in Deuteronomy, the book of Devarim, called Ve'et Hanan. This Torah portion contains a repeat of the Ten Commandments, but it also contains the Shema. And unlike many other pieces in the book of Deuteronomy, the Shema did not occur previously in the Torah. So immediately following the line of the Shema itself is the first line of the Ve'ahavta, the quote which is right after the Shema in our prayer books that we say almost every service. Many commentaries have been written. The commentaries deal with what we're commanded to do in this verse. It reads in Hebrew, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. The first thing the commentators deal with, what does it mean that we're commanded to love? How can we be commanded to love? What does that mean? How do we do it? And then they talk about with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. They get really hung up on might. What does that mean? And they also wonder, how do we do that? It would seem important because it's in the Torah. Now there is a story about the Baal Shem Tov and how he learned from heaven that there was a poor shepherd who served God better than he did. And he really desired to meet this shepherd. So he had his wagon hitched, and he took a few of his close disciples, and they went to where he was told the shepherd could be found. They pull up at the bottom of a hill on the road, and they look up on the hill, and about halfway up, sure enough, there's a shepherd with a flock of sheep. And this shepherd is using his shepherd's horn to call the sheep to him, and he's guiding them to a well with a watering trough so that they might drink. So the Baal Shem Tov and his disciples go up the hill, and they find a place where they can conceal themselves and watch this shepherd. So as the sheep begin to drink, the shepherd looks up and he begins, Master of the world, you are so great. You've created everything. But I don't know how to serve you, and I don't know how to pray. I was orphaned as a child, and I was brought up by Gentiles, so I didn't learn any Torah. So I don't know what to do. But I do have my shepherd's horn, and I can blow it like it was a shofar. So I will blow my shepherd's horn, and it will proclaim the Lord is God. So with that, he picked up his horn, and he took a deep breath, and then he blew on this horn, and it was the longest, loudest, clearest horn blast that anyone had ever heard. And he blew on this horn until he was totally exhausted and fell down on the ground. After a while, he recovered, and then he got up. And he looked up again. He said, Master of the universe, I don't know any Torah. I don't know how to pray. I don't know how to praise you. All I know are shepherd songs. And with that, he started to sing shepherd songs loudly and fervently. And he sang and he sang and he sang until again he was totally exhausted and collapsed on the ground. After a while, he recovered again. And he got up. Master of the world, what does it mean that I blew my horn and sang my shepherd songs for you? You are so great. I don't know what else I can do for you. There is one more thing I know how to do, and I will do it to praise you and for your glory. And with that, he stood on his head and he started waving his feet wildly in the air. And then he got up on his feet and he started turning somersaults, one after the other, until again he was exhausted and collapsed on the ground. Again he recovered. He stood up and he said, Master of the universe, there's nothing else I can do, but I know what I've done is not enough. It's hardly enough to praise you and to pray. I just don't know what else I can do. I know. Yesterday, the Lord that owns the flock gave a banquet for all of his servants. At the end of the banquet, he gave each of us a silver coin. I'm going to give this coin to you because you are so great. You created everything. You feed everything on the earth, including me, Moshe, the simple shepherd. And with that, he took the coin and threw it up into the air. The Baal Shem Tov looked and saw a hand come down from heaven to accept the coin. He turned to his disciples. This shepherd has shown me how to fulfill the verse, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all of your might. And that is the story. Now, we can learn from this story. We can say, look, you can learn something from everybody. Even the Baal Shem Tov learns something new from a simple shepherd. But we can also learn what it really means to glorify and praise and pray to God. We should all learn and be able to encompass this kind of thing in our own lives. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Shalom.